Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. So let's see how we got on today. I did take a trade last night on just one of my accounts. It was that one. Was it here or there? It was that one there, the failure. I like that one, clearly worked. There was another one I was very close to taking as well. Left it in the end. It was getting a little bit late. But there was a few setups later in the day. We had two kind of legs up, a couple of attempts to go higher, a little double top, and then a kind of a failure, which worked really nice. So, Little Hammer, how you doing, buddy? Been out and about today. My phone has just stopped working for some reason. It's just coming up no service. So I've been out trying to fix a problem. I've reset it. Nothing seems to work for some reason. So it's just weird. I can't even update everything, all my apps and that from the iCloud because I can't sign into it. It wants to text me the number, my phone number, but it's going no service. So I don't know what's going on. So it's a bit of a pain. Tags to how you doing? Beach Bum, how you doing, buddy? Okay, market is open. Let's see how we got on today, see if we can get something. So we've had this move down today, a couple of legs up and a push down to a new low. So we're just trekking sideways at the moment. Looking at book map, there's some orders down here at 60. There was some a bit further up, but some of this is disappearing now. Trouble is, as the market's open, there's going to be orders popping up left, right and centre at the moment, so it's hard to say. MCO, how you doing, buddy? Is that MCO? Let's go with that one. Richard, how you doing, buddy? So yeah, we're just chopping sideways at the moment. It's market's open. Are we going to get two legs up? I think there's a good chance this comes down towards this 60 level. You could argue there's a triple test, but it's still choppy, so it may trigger you and shoot up. So the best thing to do at the moment is just to sit tight here. It's not super clear. Let's see what happens here. There is a triple test there. I think that's risky at the moment. It may work, but we're bouncing off that EMA. It may come down. It looks like it's going to. Trouble is, it's a bit early in the market here. There's lots of orders all over. If you get a lower high, that would be a better option. But I have a feeling this may not work. Wow, skin of the teeth. That's going to push up, I think. It's a tough one. It may hold, but look how close that got. EMA, ATR is quite high at the moment, so you may have got some points off that. What did it push to? 2.5, maybe a bit less. It wouldn't have worked for me anyway. I think the best thing to do is just to leave that. It's when the market opens, there's a lot of traders putting in orders for the day, so you never quite know. It's okay looking at passive orders, but you may have aggressive buyers thinking this is quite low down, it's worth pushing up. So price tends to chop around, so I think it's dangerous getting in here just at the moment. There is kind of like a triple test, but I don't like it. EMA's holding price at the moment, so there's bound to be some short stops up there. So we'll see. Now it's completely congested, so everything's a little bit more dangerous. Oscar, how you doing, buddy? Okay, it would have worked. Looks like it's coming down, but the trouble is when it goes sideways like that, I mean, literally, you were a tick away from getting stopped out there. Ordinarily, a trade like that wouldn't be that bad, but this close to the open does make things a little bit more tricky. Yeah, I've had to go out this morning. I've got phone problems for some reason. It's just coming up no service. I don't know what's going on. So I backed everything up to the iCloud, but I can't. Now I've reset it. I can't update it because I'm still getting no service. And to sign into the iCloud, it wants to text me a code, and I can't. So I'm a little bit stuck at the moment. So until my wife gets home and I can use a spare phone, I'm a bit stuck. So if you message me or email me, you may not get a reply just at the moment. No service. I don't know what's going on. It's a new phone as well. I've only had it 3 months. Pain in the arse. Okay, so we've still got a chunk of orders down there. Now, sometimes that what I've noticed on Bookmap, the longer orders sit there, sometimes they're less likely to get hit. We've come down close to it. You can see how long those orders have been. Those orders have been there for 20 minutes. So we tried to get down once, a couple of more times. So they may just sit there. So it's just, there's nothing we can do at the moment. We just sit tight, twiddle our thumbs. Shh. Wilson. Yeah, I did take one trade later just on one account. I don't know, sometimes later I don't like trading all my accounts. I took this one there, the failure, so we had kind of a second entry long. That would have trapped longs. We had 2 legs up, clearly working down, and it worked nice. That I was also sat here for that. Because we had a doji first, I kind of left it alone, and then it was an engulfing bar. I know a few traders took it, but I generally leave engulfing bars, and you wouldn't have taken that on the engulfing. You wouldn't have taken it a stop below, a tick below there, so you'd wait for that to finish. Although it worked and it was 2 legs up, I generally avoid them, and as I'd already taken one there, I'll let it be. Okay, so we've had a big break out the bottom. Now, are we going to break that, and are we eventually going to hit this 60 level? There are more down here. Okay, straight to it, no problem. Right, so they are. It worked, actually. I did wonder whether that was going to struggle. So we got to move down here overnight, and then we got 1, 2 kind of measured legs down to a new low. So there are starting to, orders are starting to come down here. They're not huge. About 2. So there are some buyers there, not a huge amount. And there are some around the 55. Now that may just be bottom pickers thinking this is possibly going to push up. We're not far off yesterday's lows, so that is a possible target. Russell, how you doing? Have I said hello to you? I think you've just popped up, haven't you? How you doing? So one of my accounts is just under $3,000. The others are all around the grand, maybe a little bit over 1100-ish. So I could take a payment of that, but I'm probably just going to sit tight at the moment, I think. What I want to try and do is maximize what I take. I mean, usually they say the first 6 payments, and then there's a possibility you may move on to live or considered for live. I don't know. So those 6 payments, I'd rather just get as much as I can rather than I could probably get 700 now, but I'm probably just going to wait a little bit. I do trade that account with 2 contracts, which is why it's a little bit higher. Okay, if you look on Bookmap, there are orders all over the bloody place. So it's confusing at the moment. There are orders here. Now, I have a feeling this may continue sideways here. There are orders at 67 to go short. So this may go a bit lower. There are buyers all the way down here, and there are sellers up there as well at 75 and 80. And a bit higher, 77. So there's a fair mixture of buyers and sellers above and below price. So this may start to go sideways. I don't think there's any type of a larger channel down there. It's possible. I could probably bring this down a fraction, make it look a little better. It doesn't fit terrible. Bottom looks okay there, not too bad. So maybe. Let's see if anybody else. Okay, Thomas Wade's just put something as well. So actually, that's, oh no, it's the same. So maybe he's thinking about that then. It's a possibility. It's not a guarantee sometimes. If it is working, at least then we know there's a possibility this thing may continue down. So we got a leg up and a leg up. Can't take this, it's an inside bar. Even if I like that, I think it's a bit premature to trade it as we got a touch here, touch here, touch here, but sometimes things just work. It's an inside bar there, so you can't really trade that anyway. So we got a break and a new low all in one go there. So we got two legs up to this, what may be the top here. Unfortunately, it is coming down, but you can't take that because it's an inside bar. Certainly not from a Pat's point of view anyway. Can't take a lower high here. It's a bit weak, this is. May come back up a little. Book maps are right old mess at the moment, isn't it? Orders above, below. It's a real multicoloured palette. So it's a bit confusing. When you've got lots of orders above and below, often price just tends to chop sideways. Around about 88, which is out of sight at the moment. There is a big chunk of orders. You can see them on this right part here. There's about 740 contracts, around about 88, 89 here. But that's quite far away. The further away these orders are, these resting orders are, the less pull they have. Now that's quite interesting. There is a lower high there. Trouble is, it's congested. It may work, but you've got to be careful here. We've got 4 bars stacked side by side. That does make it more risky. It does look like it's working. Nevertheless, I just avoid it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clearly congested there. There's no argument there. It's irrelevant whether it works. It makes a trade more risky. Depends on what your risk tolerance is. I tend to leave them. So we got a channel with a break new high. If that had been a bearish bar, not as an inside bar, that would have maybe had more traders in, and then we may have had. Yeah, congestion. See, if it's congested like that, you get less sellers. That wouldn't create a lot of sellers, and that won't, which is why it's got stopped out. Now, that wouldn't have worked for me, so that was a good move to leave that. So if I get in a tick below, it went down to about 2 points, give or take. So you'd have got 0.75 out of that, so that would have been dangerous. So we get in here. 2 points, maybe 2.25. Yes, he'd have probably got 2 points at a squeeze out there, but it's way too dangerous trading that. 2 reasons. One, if this is a channel, we're at the bottom of the channel. We're at the bottom of the channel. Look what's happening. We're starting to come away, which tells me there's a little lack of bearish momentum, and often that leads to a break, and that's exactly what's happening. That's why I avoided this inside bar, which is a weak move down, congestion, which is why that triggered and didn't really go anywhere. There's not enough sellers getting in here, to be honest with you. and that's why that pushed up. So I bet you now that would attract some traders, no question whatsoever. So 1, congestion, 2, loss of momentum, couldn't get down the bottom. Often that leads to a break. If you're going to get a break here, that's exactly what's happened. So, and not only that, there is a lot of sellers here, so that natural pull up. And there we go, straight to them sellers. So Bookmap can really help you. Now, granted, there was sellers up here and buyers down here, but look what's happened on Bookmap now. A lot of the orders down below have gone blue, which is obviously a less darker colour, and the bigger orders up here have stayed bright. So a lot of the buy orders down here have ditched their resting orders. So the combination of the lack of momentum, weak push down, congestion has led to a break. So well, it's hard to say, to be honest with you. Like I say, I'm not a huge fan of that. Trump's speaking, say something dumb. Yeah, you never know what Trump's going to say, do you? I mean, realistically, I've been keeping a close eye on the news, because obviously as a trader, you've got to be careful. I mean, if all of a sudden Trump decides to lob missiles at Iran, I expect the market to take a quick dump, and you don't want to be caught in it when that happens. The amount of firepower he's getting over there is another carrier a day or two away. So, you know, I mean, look at that. Straight up to those sell orders and straight down. So a leg and a leg. So by the looks of things, I think there's a good chance this tests the lows. Unfortunately, nothing we can do, but it's starting to look imminent that's going to happen over there. The Iranians aren't having none of it. They want to do things their own way. You know, I mean, to a degree, I've always had that option that how can you as a nuclear power and a country that holds nuclear weapons say to another country, you can't have them yourself? It kind of doesn't make sense. On the other hand, you certainly don't want nuclear weapons in the hands of nutters, and I think he's proved the way he treats his own people, he's someone that can't be trusted. So under those circumstances, I say, you know, they're at the ideal time now to do something about it. They're already there now. I think they've got plenty of backing from countries around there, certainly from Europe as well. Obviously, Israel are all for, you know, regime change. So I think if the guy's a nutter, he's slaughtering his own people, now's the time to get rid of him. So obviously that will affect price in the market. So I was listening to some retired general. I've listened to a couple of them recently, and they do seem to think the next 48 hours is likely going to produce some kind of response. We'll see anyway. I would suggest from a military point of view, the element of surprise to catch people when they're not necessarily expecting it. I suppose you would think nighttime, wouldn't you? So hopefully nighttime will be out of kind of normal trading hours. But I certainly expect it to affect the price of oil and just the general markets. You would have thought so. So we've got what looks like a not a terrible channel down. And we've had 2 legs up and a strong move down. So there are traders obviously selling there. That was obviously an aggressive trader or traders selling there to push that down that quick. So we've kind of had 2 pushes up, maybe another retest. The trouble is, my guess is what I'm looking at, I would still expect market to come down and test these lows. Trouble is 80, 82.5 and 85 all contain sellers. It may not make a difference. If there's enough aggressive sellers like there was there, thing will go down anyway. Passive orders are just what they are. They're sat there ready. They've not engaged in the market as aggressive sellers have. As soon as aggressive sellers hit the bottom, they're in the market. So 77. In fact, those 77 orders are gone. So there are still orders here, so I will be careful here. So this is interesting. 2 legs up, maybe a retest. I was kind of hoping for a reaction there to come down and trap that higher low. I couldn't take that. It may just be a small pullback before it pushes higher. As I say, most of the orders I can see on Bookmap are above price, which rules out. There's another reason. I was talking to someone yesterday talking about, you know, how to read Bookmap. Now, I think price is quite likely going to test the lows here. Having said that, when you've got big orders up Bookmap, I would avoid a trade like that because there are a lot of sellers up here and there's a fair chance price could push up there. So it is a second entry short. We've had kind of 2 pushes up. So there are traders you would think would be short in that to ride price down. And it may well do. But while you've got big sellers up here, they're not huge, but there's enough of them. That may rule out taking a short there. Let's see if this works, see if price does go up. We could get a lower high and it may come down. But just for that, of those obvious reasons, those sellers up there, I would avoid that. Okay, so there you go. So there's a good read there with Bookmap. Now, I guarantee you there'll be traders going, we've got a channel coming down here. We've got 2 attempts to push higher. There's a second entry short and you're trapping along. So I bet you there'll have been traders taking that. But because I can see orders above here, I left it alone and look what happened. It saved me a loss there. I bet that will have caught a few traders out. Let's have a look. I can't see anything at the moment. Trouble is, when traders lose trades, they don't usually tell you. Traders on forums and Discords are way more vocal when they win trades. The other way around, they rarely tell you. But I bet you, we move up to the top here, we have a little correction, we have 2 legs up. There's a fair chance there have been traders thinking, okay, 2 pushes up from a break with this, let's ride this down. It is a second entry short. We have trapped a nice strong bull bar, but for that reason, that short I would leave alone purely because there are orders up here. Now, I'm assuming that this is a channel, and that's assuming price is likely going to come down. But if you're a bit uncertain about which direction price is traveling, that helps you to have Bookmap. Okay, we have hit some more orders there. We've broken any previous liquidity there. So we may have 1 push up, 2 pushes up, 3 pushes up. This still may come down. Or if this isn't valid, it may possibly be the start of another channel up. But I can still see orders at 85, 200 odd contracts at 85, and there are some around about 88. But about 89, there are 700 odd contracts. 750 contracts. Right there. Let's make that a little thicker. So look there, they're still there. You can see them on the right of the Bookmap chart. 752 contracts around about there. So there's a good chance this is going to pull price up. There's a bunch of them. There's one at 85. There's some at 88. There's some at 90. So I don't know, maybe there's a channel up there. It's a tough one. I don't know how I feel about that. The more I look at it, the less I like it. I'm going to get rid of it now. Just not a fan of it. So channel, maybe 2 legs down. This does look like it's moving up. So, about 88. So there are shorts up there, sellers up there. There are sellers all around this area. In fact, so let's say 92 to 86. So there are a bunch of sellers in this area, and you can see this bounced off it. Okay, there is some medium news coming up. Let's see if this plays a part. Not as much as it usually does. You could argue it has. We pushed a couple of times into it here and into it again, and we bounced off it here. So you can see a bunch of orders. So reference buyers, there are some buyers around about 88. Is that right? 78. So there are buyers there. That would make sense. 2 legs back, pick up some buyers and push up to these sellers. So if we can get 2 legs down, we have got some news. Pending home sales. That it can make a difference. Medium impact. You know, for a couple of years, say 3 years, I never paid any attention to medium news, and then all of a sudden we had one day where it spiked, and ever since then it's just a bit unpredictable. I don't quite know why it does it. So news in 4 minutes. Okay, we're into that area where the sellers are. So I expect to see some sort of reaction here. You can see it's played a part. We've bounced off it there. We've pulled into it and bounced a few times before, pushed up, and same again. We pulled 1, 2, 3 times into it and dropped. We try again and dropped, and then we managed to push through it. But you can see here again, we've bounced here, we've pushed through it, we've retested it, and we've retested it again. So it is playing a part, this area where there are sellers. So I expect to see some kind of reaction here. Especially if that's a channel and this is towards the channel. I expect profit taking up here anyway. Profit taking plus sellers equal a move back. Okay, news 2 minutes. Okay. This is what I expected from this area. We are pulling back somewhat, so you'd expect profit taking at the top of a channel anyway. And with the fact that there are sellers in this area, you can see how it's playing a part. But there are still sellers further up. So say from 90 onwards, a lot of those are taken. So from 90 to about 95, sellers again, which tells me if this has two nice legs down to here, there's a good chance this is going to push up some more. Now I've adjusted that. You can still see how it's playing apart. We bounced off the bottom once, twice, three times. Same again, we pushed up and bounced. So you can see it there. It's still playing apart. Okay, so there's the news. So hopefully that's finished now. It's not done a great deal, to be fair. There are sellers there, slightly larger at 75. So you can see those orders are 75. There's 102 contracts there. So I think there's a good chance we continue higher. The trouble is, when we've had one channel down like that, you've got to be a little bit careful. Is there any oil news today? Oil's having a bit of a bounce. I've got a feeling there was some oil news today, the way that's bouncing around. Yeah, there is. Not until 5 o'clock, though. Yeah, crude oil, 5 o'clock. I'm surprised that, actually. Just may have cleared out some stuff. Okay, so we did get a reaction here. Unfortunately, it's not quite low enough. There's only really one leg down, and we didn't hit those buyers. So for that reason, you can't really get in here, unfortunately. Same again, can't take that. We look like we've got a channel down here. This could come back down to this area. 77.50. So there are buyers here. So it may come down to this area again. But there are sellers up here. It depends. There's a strong pull up here, so it may just go up. But I'm not going to take a higher low there. When you see a channel down here, often we'll have a break and have a new low. And you get into a bar like that, it triggers you and then comes down. I'm not saying it's going to do it, but I've seen that scenario play out more times than I can care to count, and I've got caught in them. But if there's enough sellers up here, price may just push up. I'll be surprised if anyone takes that. It's just super risky. It's irrelevant whether it works. I mean, there's also a possible... I mean, look at that. Straight up into that area. That's the trouble, see. Yes, we're bouncing here. We've pulled back from here. There's a good chance price is going to go up, but there's just no entry. And when you have that, I've got in trades like before which trigger you and then come down and make a new low. But, you know, we've already identified there are a bunch of sellers in there. So price is likely going to find its way up, and it did pretty quick, really, straight into it. We tested it first, it's not surprised me it didn't go any higher, because we're at the top of the channel anyway, where there's profit taking. That naturally creates that lack of momentum, and you expect to pull back. But unfortunately, there's just no way in here. We push below the EMA and then just take off straight above it. So that's just too risky for right in the middle as well. It may come back and have another go, see. So but you can see where it pushed up to twice. Without Bookmap, you wouldn't have a clue that there were sellers up there. You wouldn't know whether this thing was going to continue up or come down. So now I'm looking at 92 and above. So there are still sellers up there. So 92 to 95. There are still more sellers up there. 92.5, 95. And 900, I may even put that there. So same again, sellers further up. So if we can get 2 legs down, we may still get someone out. I'm quite confident to go long with a decent setup, because I can see there are orders up there. Where are their buyers? There are buyers there, and they're buyers at 75. Now, as we bounced off the bottom, for me, you can obviously see there's buyers. We may get a small break here, clear some of the liquidity, because there are buyers there. And one of the lots of buyers at 75 is under contracts, tick or two below there. Now, whether there'd have been strong buying there or not, I don't know. It clearly pushed up, didn't it? We had a little surge and then we had a pull back and another. But I wouldn't be shocked if price came a bit lower than this. But you can still see there are still a fair amount of sellers up here, which tells me price is likely to go up. So if you can get a decent setup, I'd have the confidence to go long. That's if we get a decent setup. So let's see how this reacts here. I have a strong inkling that price might get below here just because of those sellers. But as we're down the bottom, like there, you never know whether buyers are just going to come in. But there are buyers at 80. So there are buyers there, which we've hit now. There are buyers at 75, and there are buyers around about 71, which are even lower. So this could come down. I have a feeling price will get below there. Just because those orders are still there at 75. Not only that, we're still in a channel, so even if we get a break, I expect a new low. I wouldn't buy that. 1, we're still in a channel down at the moment. 2, didn't break below it. It may work. But the way that's looking like that, I wouldn't dream of taking a long there. Not a chance. Now, there are some sellers at 85. So if you're premature and you get in here, it may hit those sellers and come down. So channel break. Let's see this new low here. Okay. We knew there were buyers there. My gut feeling is it's still going to break below there. Purely because those orders there. Or at least stop any buyers there. And if it bounces here as well, look where it's bouncing off previous resistance. We'll see. There you go. So, how did I have a fair idea it was going to do that? Because I can see where buyers are. So without Bookmap, you would not have a clue that they were down there. How did I know price was going to break below there? Because I can see big orders down there. It's not attractive to buy her at the moment, so I wouldn't buy her at the moment. And when there's buyers below price, that's where I expect price to get to. So it's surprising. Bookmap really does give you kind of a glimpse into the quite likely possible future. I can't. How many times you guys see me and say price is going to get down there, or price is going to get down here, or we look like we're going to have a break here, and it comes true. So it's certainly worth having this, especially when you get used to using it. There's a little bit of a learning curve, not much though. It's as simple as just putting it on your screen and just watching it, and that's how I did. And you start to realise there's still those orders there at 75, 241 contracts. Would I buy here? No. Because one, it's congested. So there's going to be buyers there. Two reasons I wouldn't buy there. One, it's congested. Two, it's an inside bar. So I expect price to break, come down, stop below it. And that would hit them sellers. Now, if there's enough aggressive sellers that think we've had a break here, let's ride this up and I'll buy from here, it may still go up. But there are... Right, those orders have dropped a bit. There was 200 on, there's 126 at the moment. So obviously the more orders, the more pull. But that to me is a week long. So if it drops below there, it'll hit them buyers. Boom, there you go. So same again. My gut was what I was seeing, price was going to come down. So if you got a fair idea where price is going to go, you'll more likely stay out of trades that may be a little bit more risky. So it does give you a bit of a glimpse into the future. So Ben, how you doing, buddy? So now what's going on? We've had a clear break here now. We've hit buyers. Now looking, there are sellers there. You can see them, 138 contracts, a little bit more above as well. So price may now start to come down. It's hard to say. You know, we've pushed up and rejected a couple of times off these area of sellers here. So maybe his price has had enough. It's not a great picture today, is it? It's a bit naff and it's a bit choppier there. So it really does help you, Bookmap. Trouble is, when you've got lots of orders above and below, it does make things a little bit more trickier. When it's weighted above or below, things are a bit easier. Okay, there's a high low there. Would I go long there? Not really. One, because there are sellers at 80. And two, because there are buyers at 72 below that bar. So sellers here, buyers here. What does that tell me? It'll hit the sellers and come down. So if you take that long there, my guess is you're going to get stopped out. Now, it may go a little bit high before it comes down, but as we've had a break and starting to go sideways, some traders might think, okay, this is the time to go long. We've broken previous liquidity, which we have. But you can see those orders at 80 sellers there, so you don't really want to go long into sellers. Now, it may work, but we've just established going long here because there are sellers below is a bad idea. So if you went long there, it didn't trigger, but if you went long there, same again, bad idea. And this one as well, the second entry short, 2 legs up, same again, bad idea, sellers up here. But this does look like a nice channel, so there are quite likely going to be aggressive buyers here. I am looking at Bookmap and you can see there are slightly more. If you look at the top right, the imbalance, there's a little bit more aggressive buyers. Obviously, they play a part. So we'll see what happens. So Thomas Wade considering fail second entry short. That's the safer option. So yes, those orders are down there, but there's still fair amount of orders up here. So with what I'm seeing now, channel break, not a huge channel up. That's enough of a break. My gut is it's likely continue up to these sellers up here. Unfortunately, there's just no entry there. You can't really take that. It's completely sideways and we're below the EMA. Now we're just kind of pushing up relatively strong. You can see those aggressive buyers, can't you? Look at the green bubbles. So you can see those aggressive buyers. Just hope we get a bit of a pullback here. I don't think we will. I think this is clear what's going on now. So sometimes it's just, we don't get a pullback. It just continues on up. So sellers at 87. So 87.50 and 90. So there are sellers there. So I think it's risky going into sellers. That is actually a failure, but I don't like it. It's moved down quick. So channel break. You just got to leave this at the minute. We know there are still buyers here. Still 150 contracts. There's always that possibility it could come down and pick these buyers up. So if you've traded that long, this may come down and flush everything out. As I say, I think it's weak buying there because it's clearly congested. We'll see. Maybe we get a failure here. You've got to be so careful here. That may work or it may come down. If we get a second entry long here, I'd have a go at that. But I'm not getting into that. Not a chance. Although it's trying to go up, it could turn and come down really quick. There's still 161 orders down there, and that is also pulling price. I was hoping that would be a bear, but if that triggers, then I would have a go long then. Once we've gone so far up, I think it's relatively clear then that that's where we're heading, and the pullback, there's less chance of it. You can say between 87 and 90, there's a fair chunk. In fact, there's some at 85 as well. So, same again. Seem to be struggling a minute. Now, sometimes a lot of these orders just get, they just kind of blend in. Okay, so let's have a look. Second entry short, possible failure. We've not triggered below this bar. It's all right. I'm looking at my second chart here. Along there might not be a bad idea. Let's just shove this over. There you go. So if you went long there, you made some points, but it came down and stopped you out. Ordinarily, you'd have a leg and a leg. But there's still a bunch of orders down here. So while there are buyers down here, it may clear out some of this liquidity. It may not get down as low as there, but that's congestion, that is. So it's weak buying. But also, if I do that, we are possibly bouncing here. That would be a second entry long. The way prices at the moment, there's no way on God's earth I'm taking that. So I'm just going to sit back here. Unfortunately, it may go up. There is a second entry long, but 28 ticks, tick above, tick below, 30 ticks. That's $400. I'm not risking $8,000. Not a chance. It's not doing what I expected. Once it started pushing up there, I thought that would go, and all of a sudden we had a quick dump. So you've got to be so careful here. So you would have got your points quick. I don't like price when it's moving that quick. It's unpredictable. You upgraded your CPU. I changed my old computer, but about 4 months ago, I built one. What did I build? You can probably see it there, can't you? So I got a Ryzen 9 9950X3D, which is the best one that they had. I got 64 gig of DDR5, same again, a really good quality. I got an RTX, I think it's a 56. RTX is 40, 50, something 56, you know the ones I mean. I just bought all good quality parts. It cost me £2,000. I got a water cooler as well, so I just bought the best of the best to kind of future-proof me. It's the second one I built. This one seemed to be a bit tricky, and I was amazed it actually worked. But yeah, it's a good machine. Have I seen the price? I haven't, no. What did I pay for mine? I think I paid can't remember. I think it was £1,665. I can't remember. I got 232s, but I just got the, what is it? It's Vengeance stuff. So I'm a big believer if you buy good quality parts, you know, they last well. But no, my shimming stuff's gone up, haven't they? I think my chip was expensive. I think my chip was about 600. I think £595 for the Ryzen 9 9950. That was about the best they had. I think it was 500 for the RTX. Is it 4056 or 5040, something like that? You gamers will know what I mean. So I just bought good parts, water cooler as well. I bought I got it all in white, something a bit different. But I bought the case and it's got 1, 2, 3. It's got 4 fans already installed, and the water cooler's got some on the top as well. But yeah, it's a nice machine. It weighs an absolute ton. I'm amazed how heavy it was. In fact, this desk I've got, my last PC, I had like a little holder underneath that you can slide it in and close the sides. But it wouldn't fit. It's really wide. But I'd had my other one for about four years. It was kind of, it wasn't top of the line when I bought it. It was kind of, it was like a kind of Ryzen 7 8600 or something, that type of thing now. So this one should keep me going for a good 5 years, I reckon. 160 is a bargain. How much is it at the moment? Computer parts can really fluctuate, can't they?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Yeah, it's choppy as shit at the moment. No way. Oh my Christ. Oh my God. Hold on a minute. Oh my God, look how expensive it is. I think that's... Oh, Christ. I think that's what I've got. 232s. Let's have a look. Yeah. 600 megahertz. Oh my Christ, look at the price. How has it gone up so much? And I think in all honesty, I paid about 240 for mine. It's still gone up 350%. Oh my God, that's unreal. I find it hard to believe. Wow, that's I mean, even just 32, 216s, 450, that's £1. Man, that's ridiculous. £856. That's over $1,000. Well over $1,000. Man, that's ridiculous. I wonder what's made. Wow, I bought it at the right time, didn't I? I'm pretty sure mine was about 240. Wow, that's unreal. That is. Do you know, when you said they've gone up, I thought they might have gone up maybe 20, 30%. Wow, that's ridiculous. That is. Wow, I'm stunned. Oh my God. What's caused that? Wow, unbelievable that is. AI data centers. Oh, is that what it is? Ah, AI's to blame. Wow. I mean, that's ridiculous. That is really putting it out some people's budgets. What I wanted to try and do is future-proof myself. I think 32 gig would have been probably enough, but while I was in the mood, I just thought I might as well just do it all. So I went for 64. I got a 2 terabyte, same again, good quality SSD, the little my sticks, ME2 or whatever they are, sticks. And the chip I got was I don't know what the chip is now. Wilson, you pester me. What's the matter? Zen 9. Yeah, that's the chip I bought there. It was the most expensive one I can find, top of the line one. Ryzen 9 9950X3D. That's about what I paid, give or take a few pounds. Yeah, it's graphics cards as well. They used to be expensive. They came down as well. What's mine? RTX. That's what it was, RTX. I think that's mine. Yeah, that's the one I bought. I got it in white. Yeah, it is. So that hasn't changed. In fact, that's gone up a few pounds. That's it, but not. But it's amazing that, isn't it? And I got one of these. I got a decent motherboard as well. That was £200 odd. As I say, it was 2,000. All in all, man, I can't believe how much they've gone up. That's horrendous. That is. That's really going to take a lot of people out of the game, isn't it? With storage regarding price, it's all, yeah, of course. AI. I've got to say, AI is amazing. I use it all the time, more and more. I know, I'm pretty sure, you know, these Amazon Alexas, I think you guys in the US have got the AI versions. We haven't at the moment. They're as dumb as shit, to be honest with you. Half the time they don't know what you're talking about. But I think the good thing about AI is if you got maybe older people or people who are kind of lonely, you can have an intelligent conversation with them. So I think AI is going to take over in a big way, isn't it? It does make me concerned about how much AI is going to play a role in trading. Are we going to become obsolete at some point? It's hard to say, isn't it? You just never know. I mean, sort of algos and all that play a part, don't they? Is this 2 legs down and this is finally pushing up? It's very choppy, isn't it? I think AI is spectacular, but it's obviously it's going to take its toll on certain things. I'm waiting for these Chinese robot wives. Imagine having the perfect wife. You could have her looking exactly what you want. Whatever age you want, so you can have a nice... Well, I don't know. I'd probably pick one about 30. They look amazing. They cook and clean for you, and they don't moan. That's heading towards the perfect world, isn't it? A wife that doesn't moan and does whatever you want. Not just in the kitchen, in the bedroom as well. Wouldn't that be nice? No expensive makeups or cream. AI version, exactly. Do you know, I thought about this maybe 4 or 5 years ago. You know, for instance, you've got people like, you know, you've got actors like Tom Cruise who probably demand 40, 50 million. Are you going to have it? AI is going to create, well, it can create people now. Are we going to get AI movie stars that you don't need to pay 40 million? You know, I do wonder whether it's going to drive actors. Are we going to have AI singers? You can have AI actors. Perfect, exactly. You can make them look exactly what you want. It's amazing, isn't it? Watch Megan Fox's last movie. But if you think about it, you can get, we've all seen them, AI people that look, they're exactly the same. So why would you, why would you pay 40 million for a movie star? Half the time they moan about this, that, and the other. You've got to treat them ridiculously. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Are we not going to see human movie stars anymore? It's crazy, isn't it? The more you use AI, the more you realise how amazing it is. But is it too good? That's the problem. I mean, my thumbnail, some people have said that's AI. It's not. It's definitely me, I assure you. It can definitely improve you, can't it? I don't think I look too bad for my age, but I probably don't quite look that good. Let me have a look. Where's my canvas thing here? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, AI has improved me a touch. It's got rid of a few wrinkles and it's tightened me up a little bit here and there. Amazing, isn't it, really? Technology is amazing. Faces will be true. Exactly. Yeah, I suppose so. But the trouble is, if anybody can make an AI avatar, the movie companies will, don't they? They'll just make a new one. You can have the perfect actor looking exact. You know, half these actors at some point, you know, either have to shed £50 for a movie role, or they got to grow a beard, or they got to do this, or they got to do that. I mean, it was the guy that was in Batman years ago. He was in a film. He had to get down to about 7 stone. Ridiculous. That's the thing about AI. You can make someone drop 7 stone by the click of a button. Yeah, it's. I wonder how much of life is going to be taken over by AI. We probably haven't even scratched the surface of what AI is capable of. It's strange, isn't it? Amazing. Technology is changing so quick, isn't it? Christian Bale, yeah. Do you remember that? What was that film he was in? He lost. He looked like a dangerous amount of weight. I forget what the film was, but that's it, machinish, yeah. I mean, he looked anorexic, didn't he? I mean, it can't be good for you, but, you know, rather than, you know, get someone on a diet for 6 months, you could just click of a button and make him look £60. Make this avatar £60 lighter. It's amazing, really, isn't it? 2 legs back. It does look like we're eventually trying to push up. It doesn't. I didn't expect all this, to be honest with you. When we had that channel up, I thought we'd have it eventually work its way, but it really chopped around, didn't it? There was a second entry long there. It did work, but I think I remember it did work, but it was massive. This I thought was a bit risky. Eventually we came down, broke below all of this, and then it just took off. So this isn't acting the way it normally does. You know, we see a certain format with the markets, don't we, how they work, but on the odd occasion we have a day like this where there's so much randomness in the mix, it makes our job a little bit harder. Looking at that now, that was a second entry long. Now, I had this channel down at the time, so I wasn't thinking about going up, but you can see that bounce there 3 times, and then we have a higher low. Second entry long. It did work eventually. But yeah, it's very easy to mark that now, isn't it, when you've seen what happens and you get rid of the bigger channel. Trouble is, when you get what looks like a possible channel down and you get 2 legs up, generally you stay out of this lot because you don't know where it's going, but it wouldn't surprise me if Mac marked that. It's easy when you know what happened. But some of these bars are just huge, aren't they? That thing, I mean, what was that bull bar there? 5 and 3, 6 and 3/4, 7 points. Tick above, tick below. It's too much of a risk, that. So is price now going to head into here? So we've got buyers at 85, which is down here. Yeah, I get it. A couple of legs down to the EMA. And then we got sellers at 92 and 95, which is here. So I'd like to see a second entry long, but the way this is working, if it breaks above there, it'll get into this area, I think. Just looking at this CL chart as well, this is actually working along here really neatly. There is a second entry long there, but it's off that EMA. I was hoping we'd come down a bit, but it's really neat, that, isn't it? So I do wonder whether we may get a second leg down here. Yeah, see. It's hard to trade this stuff. Okay, so we've got Max here. So he's got that as well. So yeah, he hasn't got that. He hasn't got a channel down here. To be honest with you, the more I looked at it, the less I liked it anyway. So it's relatively clear now, isn't it? So this bit here looks like the correction. There. 2 legs and the move up. If we can get a second entry long or a triple test here, we may get a bit higher. I think that's ticked above it by a tick. It has, yeah. It doesn't mean we can't still go long if we get a decent setup. As I say, on Bookmap, it's shown me there's a chunk of buyers there and then sellers up here above price. So if we can get a second entry long off here, you may argue 1, 2, 3, it's a triple test. Yeah, it's blown that idea. On my second chart, this looks a bit clearer. You can clearly see 2 legs. I wouldn't take a trade there. One, because we got orders 85 below here. And 2, it's just too far off the EMA. You never know how high it's going to go before it turns, or it could turn. So if we come down and get another bounce, we may get a triple test. So 84.5 and 85. This is starting to look a bit like a bit of sideways. So if we get another move down here, you could argue that we've got 1, 2, 3 triple test. If we can come down here, hit this area and then finish bullish, I would probably have a go there, but there's also a triple test up here. But we haven't made the highs from here, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. There are buyers here in this area here, so if we can come down here, we've got 1, 2, 3. That will be a triple test. I'd expect price to get up to these highs. ATR is quite high, so there's certainly enough. So if you can push down here and finish here, there's plenty of space just to the top. I'm hoping it does that. 1, 2, 3 triple test. Come on. You can see the buyers at 85, some a fraction below as well. So if we can push down and hit those, we'll clear out there. Liquidity here, here, and here. Now we have had a break and 2 attempts to push up. But based on them sellers I can see up here and the buyers here, we haven't made a new high yet. I mean, we have kind of had 2 little legs back already, so it may be enough. It's hard to say. You can see 2 little legs. I'm just hoping it comes down because you can see those buyers. There's just below 200 contracts, just above now in that area there. So hopefully, if we can hit that. Okay, so let me get an order ready just in case we get a decent bounce. I want to hit those orders though, or at least as much as I can of them. Oh, it's not enough of them. It's not enough. They're still there. It just missed them. It may push up now. On this second chart, triple test, that looks pretty strong to me. Even though those orders are there, the fact that they're there, I'm still going to leave this alone because that bar's too big anyway. It's 15 ticks on this side and 19 ticks in here. Ain't finished yet. Yeah, there's just no room to the eyes, unfortunately, so I'm just avoiding that. We get in there. What have we got? 2.25 points at best. No good for me. I think looking at this chart here, I think there's a good chance price will push up. It's a shame, really. If we'd have come back a few more ticks, I'd have jumped all over that. But while we've got orders, although they're not a huge amount, I still think there's a good chance price maybe put in. You could maybe take it on a limit order on this left chart. Get it down here a little bit so it's a little bit less risk. But while we got those orders down here, so tempted to take that, but there's just not enough room to the highs, unfortunately. So I'm just going to leave that alone. There is what's looking like a possible higher low there. Trouble is we are finding some resistance at the top. That's a strong bar there. I'll be shocked if that comes down and stops below there really well. We've really had a little double bottom there. Quite. Didn't break below there. That's very strong right off that EMA. It's nice and tight to that EMA. So just based on what I'm seeing, I'd expect the tops to get stopped out before the bottoms do, purely and simply because we've had a triple test of strong. But then you just, you never know. Those orders are still down here. You can see them. Where's my other chart? That one. You never know. It's trying, isn't it? Which is why I kind of left that one. There's not enough room for a start, and there is orders below there, and it's just hit them. So now let's see what happens. Let's It's very tempting, that is. That would be a little fail breakout. Just something I'm not so keen on. We've had a break and a bunch of attempts to push higher. We know there are sellers here. I was surprised that came below there, and that's making me nervous. So I'm going to have to sit tight here. Something I don't like about this. There are more sellers down there. 82.5. Yeah, I was surprised there. So looking at my second chart, I was really surprised that didn't rocket up. It was a triple test, really strong buy right off the EMA. The trouble is we've had a push up. We've also made multiple attempts to go higher. So who's going to win over? It's just hard to tell. So that's why I left it. Bar's too big. There's no room to the highs. It's just too risky. Now all of a sudden this thing's dropping down. I'm really surprised actually that didn't push up. I was expecting, but we know there are a lot of sellers in here and we've been into this area multiple times. So maybe that has something to do with it. Speedy, how you doing, buddy? If any of you guys send me any messages on Messenger or whatever at the moment, you're not going to get a reply. My phone's playing up. Just got no service on it. It doesn't matter what I do. I can't seem to get service. I've even been into the shop this morning for them. They've checked the card. They said the card's good. They've replaced it. I don't know what. My phone. It's an iPhone 17 Pro Max. This, so it may have to go back to the shop to get looked at. So I've tried resetting it. Trouble is, it wants to send me validation for my iCloud so I can download that through the number, my phone number, but it's not accepting. I've got no service, so I'm just kind of stuck at the moment. So this is it's hard to read this stuff. It's unpredictable. I didn't expect those two extra pushes down there, although I didn't like the entries there, so maybe it picked off there before it rocketed up, but then I don't know. So I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. I don't like all this. It's doing the edit at the moment, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go and refresh myself, stretch my legs. I'll be about 3 to 5 minutes and I'll be back. Okay. What have I missed? Not a lot. It's still working up really nice, isn't it? That CL chart as well. Unfortunately, there's no real way in at the moment. Now we're above the highs. We're starting to come away from the top of fraction. So that often leads to a break. So profit taken up here, I don't doubt. Maybe sellers up here. So either way, I think we're going to get a break. So we'll see. Okay, so what am I looking at here? So this is looking very rangy now, I think. So breakout there, breakout there. That's what it's starting to look like, isn't it? It's probably going to be a short day for me today. I've got to try and sort my phone out. We've got a backup phone here somewhere, so I'm going to have to get everything over to it. Trouble is, it's not an iPhone, so I can't get all my stuff from iCloud, so I'm going to have to do everything manually. So, still got a chunk of orders between 90, which is there. And 95, so there's still orders up here. That's confused me a bit, that. Strange thing is, for some reason, I must have my chart set differently because I can hardly see any colour in there, but you guys are looking at it's quite grey. So let me just change. Let's see if this. It's a bit better. So it looks like we're ranged at the moment. We've had a breakout the top, a leg down with a correction, and a breakout the bottom, like a matching top and bottom. Yeah, someone else has just posted that. That's what I mean. You can clearly see there. Just no idea what's going on at the moment. Let me just. What the hell's going on there? Oh, wow. Let's just get rid of it for now. It's just in the way a bit. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So we've had 2 legs down here, a leg and a leg. See if we get a reaction here. Now, this is an area where it's useful to have bookmap. If this finishes bullish, so at the moment, I'm looking at orders. Now, it depends how big the orders are, but I can see orders at 70, which is there. Actually, there's 523 contracts to buy there. Now, whether that's just going to pull price down to clear this, the bit of spoofing going on, I don't know. So if this ends up bullish, I'm not going to take it because I can see there are massive orders below me. Let's just see if it does end up bullish. It is on my second chart. So let's see if it triggers. If it triggers, my guess is price will come down. So this is a reason. Now you may, as this is a range, you may be inclined to go long there. Now, if all of a sudden a massive aggressive buyers buy you, it may well push up. But there isn't a mass at the moment. There's kind of a mixed amount. There's slightly more buyers, but there are, okay, those 500 odd contracts have been dumped. There's 130 now, 120, 130. It's still enough to make me stay out of that. So from around, there's about 200 contracts in around about that area. And just for that reason, I'm staying out of any long there. Now, 2 legs down. I get the reasoning behind taking a long, and it may work because there's probably going to be buyers around this area. We know there's some here, passive orders, but there's bound to be aggressive buyers as well, so it may work, but I'm just sitting tight. It's a shame, really, those orders there was 500 of them, and a lot of them got yanked. So that might have aided the ease of going up. So CL chart. Well, I put that line there, said I was expecting a break. We've had a small one. But what I will say is, yeah, it may be a break, but it also may be a channel going up at a slightly less aggressive angle. So it may not come down much more. It's hard to say at the moment, but if I tweak that, that fits quite nice. If I yank that out of the way, so it may. I wouldn't buy that high anyway. I'd expect I'd want to get in down here, but it may still go up. But the fact that we've broken overnight highs, I wouldn't want to go long into this because you can see we've bounced 3 times there. So for that reason, I'd want to just stay and sit tight here. There was a channel there, but it's definitely going off in a steeper angle. Second entry long, would I want to take that? It's still risky. If it's down here and it looks nice enough, and we're trapping some shorts, then maybe. So you can still see orders there. There and there. Right below that bar there. Is it going to hold or is it going to test this and push up again? That's actually what I'm looking at. If it looked okay, possibly. My only slight concern is we've made 3 attempts. We have broken the highs. If we hadn't broken the highs, then I'd be maybe a little bit concerned. So if it finishes okay and looks good, I may do. Yeah, look. Marco. Yeah, today sucks a lot. It's tricky today. It's bouncing all over the place down here. It's not playing out like you would kind of expect. It may change. We have got some news coming up, but it's not for another 45 minutes. This is fitting really neatly, isn't it? Okay, we're getting a small break here. I'm not shocked. So there is a perfect measured leg there. Trouble is that's an inside bar. Now, because we've been up here 3 times, there's bound to be some sellers up here. So it's hard to say exactly what's going to happen. I'm not shocked that there's a break. But it's looking less likely we get something here. No. It's looking less likely, isn't it? I don't mind if it broke below that bull bar there and had an instant reaction, but we've come down further. So yeah, it's looking less and less interesting, isn't it? I can't see. It looks quite neat, so we have had a break there. I wouldn't expect that to come down that much from this, so it still may push up, but you'd have to wait for a really good higher low in this instance. That's if it doesn't continue down. So you can see these orders here in this yellow area, and we're heading into this area now. Prices are flickering around like mad on Bookmap. You can see them. There's aggressive buyers at the moment. You can see the green there rising up, and that's likely going to push price into this area. 92.5 is kind of the centre of it all, which I'm guessing is somewhere in the middle. Yeah, it's right in the middle of this. If I move this out the way, you can see that is right in the middle of this yellow area. So that is kind of where I'd like to see price go. Let's see. Okay. There's a fair amount of orders up here. I'm still hoping price gets into here. Okay, we're getting aggressive sellers here. You can see that climb. There are still buyers below price at the moment. 84, 85-ish. Really strong push up. On the CL chart, we got 2 legs back, cleared maybe any liquidity here, and a strong move up. Nothing you can really do here. I don't know whether the price is going to go a bit higher or come down a bit. We're in that area where they could sell off. We had that bar down the bottom. There was buyers below it, but because we're ranging, enough aggressive buyers are buying here and it pushed price up. So we could get into this area and hit them passive sellers, but because it's a range and we're kind of doing the same kind of thing as this, sellers might just decide it's struggling enough. Now's the time to get short. You can see there are slightly more aggressive up at the top right there. The red is slightly larger, so that tells me there are more aggressive sellers. Now, there are buyers here at 80. They dropped 82-ish. So there are traders thinking it might be worth buying here for the push-up. I'm just sitting tight and staying out of this at the moment. This thing could bounce here and push up, or it could come right down at the bottom. Once it gets so far down, I think it'll just fall. There we go. Down to the bottom by the looks of things. So clearly just ranging at the moment. The trouble is I hate buying tops and bottoms. You never quite know when it's going to just trigger and drop below. So sellers 270 still there. Sorry, buyers, my mistake. So there is a little bull bar there that's triggered. Same again. I'm always nervous about this in ranges around about 78-ish to 80. There are sellers and there are buyers down here. Does that tell me if price is pushed up, sellers may push this thing lower? While we got orders down here and sellers up here and buyers here, I'm not getting in on these. I'm not a massive fan of trading ranges like this. Now, if we get a strong higher low off the bottom, now that's a different story. But in this case, the thing just took off. It did pull back, but we didn't get a higher low. Didn't get a higher low here, never got a higher low here. So same with the tops, really. No higher low. The thing just dropped. This push up, we didn't get up the top. There's no way in there. I wouldn't take a triple test here. At the time, I'm expecting price to push up from this. So it's just one of those things at the moment. That'll either work or it won't. Sometimes it'll trigger and come down. But also, if I look at this, we've had like a little channel down there. So maybe a break and a new low, but I'll just stay out of this. This is just signature. I looked at that. I've got it marked as this. That one I won't take purely and simply because there's no room to the lows. You never know whether you're going to get trapped short and it pushes up. This looks quite neat to me. Now, granted, we've been up here 3 times, so there may be sellers up here, but for me, this is an area just to sit tight and let it do what it's doing. I don't know whether it's going to push up and make a new higher. It's going to continue down. It's a tough one at the moment. I was looking at, I'd prefer it to push up and then drop bearish below the EMA, but I don't like what I'm looking at here. I just go with what I see now. I don't bother counting. I'm just looking for a certain picture. And this isn't it at the moment. It's too uncertain because we've been up here and broke the highs. You never know whether this thing may retrace a little bit. I will say there's going to be neat little bits of liquidity all the way up here, so you don't know whether we're going to have a break and it's going to push up or whether it's going to come down. A break above that, trapping some longs. There's 2 kind of bullish bars there. If that pushes up, trap some longs, it may come bearish. That may be a second entry short, but I'm always nervous around these, especially going short when prices have been going up. So I want to see, we'll see what the interaction is if we get above this. See, look at this big pull back here. Look at that. It took off there. We got a 27 tick bar straight down. Okay, so we pushed above. This is where I want to see some real rejection. I don't think we're going to get it. It is early stage. I want that to come down and close at the EMA, but look at it go. That's the trouble, really, isn't it? The price action's telling me we've got a very neat channel with a break. Where does price go most of the time? Up to the tops. It's not a huge break, but it's not a huge channel. So there you go. See, luckily no setup anyway to get trapped in, but that's the trouble there. This is saying a break and a new low. This is saying break and a new high. So that's the trouble with trading. That there's so much grey area. You've really got to wait for the best information. You've got to take all this into your brain and then you know, year after year, your brain gets better at divulging all this and making head the tail of it, and then giving you a definitive yes, I go on, or I stay out of it. So I got variables here. The fact that we've broken the highs, there may be some profit taking. You don't know whether they're going to be sellers in this area. So profit taking plus sellers equal a pullback. So that's why we may have had a break. But if you've got sellers here and buyers thinking, let's push to a new high, you've got sort of discrepancies, haven't you? So it's just one of those things, unfortunately. It's a bit frustrating. Especially when you start looking at two charts, you don't get nothing on either of the damn things. It's just one of them things, isn't it? It's just waiting for that ideal moment, isn't it? Sitting patiently. But lately, the last 2 to 3 months, it seems like we're sitting longer and longer and taking less and less trades. It's just kind of how it is at the moment. I don't know why, but it is a little quieter. Having said that, my win rate's still 95%. So the trades I am taking, I'm winning most of them, but I ain't taking much. But if I decided to get a bit more risky, you can add a few extra losses into the mix. That wouldn't look good. And I took a trade yesterday just on one account. So I am doing the odd account in the evening. I prefer when I come back just to trade 1 or 2 accounts for some reason and keep the bulk of this for that kind of 3.5 hour session I do with you guys. So we got a channel with a break and a new high. So if you look at this, we've got a channel down here with a break. Is this going to come down and test the lows, or is it going to bounce and rocket up? Your guess is as good as mine. We've come from the tops to the bottoms. I mean, we came up here and had a strong pullback before we pushed up again, so maybe that's just what's happening. Would I want to go long here? Not really. Would I want to go short? Same again, not really. I've got buyers further down around about the 4, I'd say 7.4, which is so I've got buyers there, sellers there. So if we get a small pullback, sellers may push this down. So I've got mixed signals again. So it's just one of those frustrating scenarios at the moment because it's doing a lot of this. It doesn't necessarily give you a clear signal when it's ready to move down to the bottoms. And you never know. Sometimes you go long here, it works. Sometimes it'll trigger you and stop you out. So I always think, personally for me, you're better off waiting for a higher low. Now, there was one there, but we hadn't really established a range. Now we have. So you've got to take the higher low there, which is the safer option, really. We didn't get no entry there, no entry up here, no entry down there. Same again up here. It's choppy. So it's just, it's a bit of pea soup at the moment, isn't it? It's just a bit odd looking. There's not much you can do. So this is the kind of can be the worst part of trading, just sitting here, seeing no setup and no setup. It used to mentally cripple me. It doesn't really bother me anymore. When you're blown up as many accounts as I am, you realise the only thing you can do is wait. With all the frustration in the world, absolutely changes nothing. You give up in the end. The frustration goes, you just sit here. I know sometimes I say it's frustrating, but it doesn't really bother me. Only get frustrated about things you can control. You can't control what the market's going to do. It's a kind of a separate entity. You can just watch for the signals and wait for your turn. And when your turn comes up, you take a trade, you take it. If it wins, great. If it loses, it's the same again. There's nothing you can do. Maybe learn from it. So, but you give up in the end, getting cheesed off. I can't tell you how many times I sat here for 3 hours, pat myself on the back like I was a hero, having all the patience in the world, and in the last 5 minutes, patience got the better of me. I ended up taking a loss. So I can sit here for a week now without a trade if that's the case. So second entry short bearish bar, that would be a lower high. Do I really want to go short into the bottom third of a range that we haven't reached the high yet? Not really. Does it look like it may work? It may do, but then markets have got a habit of doing that. Second entry short, stroke lower high. For a setup, it doesn't look terrible, but the context is telling me we've come off the bottom, so this may be just doing a bit of this before it takes off. So I'm being a good boy and staying out. It does look like it may work, but I don't really want to go short into that because we have bounced a bunch of times here. So sometimes it'll make you look like it's coming down, when every time it's come down, it pushes up, comes down, it pushes up. So sometimes it'll do this, it'll suck you in, and then off it'll go. So I learnt the hard way. All of a sudden, the last few ticks, that can turn. You do nothing, it rockets down. As soon as you get in, triggers you. But you can clearly see how many times we've bounced there, trying to go lower. See how bearish that was looking a minute ago? Not so good now, is it? That's the problem. But we've still got sellers down here, and that may slowly draw price. There's 265 contracts. That's still a fair distance from price, so it may not quite have the pull. $15 ticks that bar was, tick above, tick below. I'm not risking that on a bar that looks that crap. We just come off the bottom. Regardless, it doesn't matter whether it works. Okay, so that has played out in the end on the on the oil chart. We've had a break, 2 pushes to a new high by 1 tick, I think. No, it's a matching high. Yeah, see, here's a scenario. Second entry short was nice. Someone else not selling into the lows. That's the right answer. It doesn't matter whether it does. We've just come off the bottom. And selling into the bottom's risky. So you can see how there's different kind of, different kind of opinions. So we did hit some buyers there. So maybe it's just testing this area again. That would be a possible second entry long if it was bullish, but I just don't like any of this at the moment. I thought that was going to push up and it didn't. Okay, so CL chart's played out now. So we've got a break there, 2 pushes, new high. So that's played out. So as tempting as this was looking to possibly look for a short here, look what happened in the end. I think that chart was that neat. You can't confuse that with anything bar a neat looking channel. So you'd expect a new high. Unfortunately, there was just no entry, which is the story of our life at the moment. 77.50. So there are 480 contracts there. Now, whether they'll stay there or whether they'll get yanked, I don't know. 498 contracts, 2 contracts short of 500. That's a fair old chunk of contracts out there. But then aggressive sellers have just sold. Now look at the aggressive sellers that have just shot up. 9 odd million compared to 5 million. So that's the trouble. You just never quite know what it's going to do when it gets down here. Last time we got down here, we went straight to the top. This time, we only got just above halfway, and then the things tanked and cleared out liquidity here and here. So that's the trouble with this. That's why I hate ranges. You never know where the damn thing's going to decide to stitch you up and turn. It's frustrating. It's annoying, isn't it? So we've still got a chunk of contracts there. Still got just under 500. Didn't seem to make a difference there, did it? Price just seemed to launch. See, the way I see things at the moment is if I had to work out what was going on, we've got a channel up here. We've had 2 legs down. We've messed around a bit. We've had 2 more legs down and a strong move up. So I'm guessing there was stops still down here holding for a bigger move up. 2 attempts to go lower followed by a second leg up. By the way that's pushed down and cleared stops there, I dare say there was 1 or 2 stops there just by that sheer move down of what, 20 ticks? Maybe a touch more, maybe a bit less. So it's a bit of a crappy day today. I'm going to get rid of that. They've disappeared. So how far is this thing going to come down? So are we going to test these lows? We have got some more news in about 12 minutes. So, 160 short orders down here. We're getting close to the overnight lows. I think there's a good chance this is going to be broken. There'll be liquidity all the way up there, picking off that a bit at a time. So I'm just hoping we get a little pullback because there are 400 odd contracts at 77. It's a bit high for me. 77.50 here. I can't see that pulling back that far. Maybe here. Let me have a look. There are sellers there around about 73.5, which is here. That will be okay. A couple of legs back up. Maybe a larger channel. A couple of legs back up to this area. And then down some more, we'll see. Yeah, I haven't so much traded the NQ. I had it. I used to have half and half, going back maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. I used to kind of use it as an anchor chart. If I was looking for a short here, I would see what the NQ's doing. The only thing is with the NQ, I've been trading the ES now for nearly 5 years. The NQ moves a lot faster. It unnerves me. I don't know. Sometimes I've dropped my order there to get out and it hasn't hit it. And sometimes price will move before you see it move on your chart. And that makes me a bit nervous. I don't quite know why. But you know, when you get used to something, but it works like that some days. I mean, if you got the 5-minute chart out, let's flick this over. Let's check if you get the 5-minute chart. Now, the reason I use tick charts is what I like about tick charts is look at the range of sizes of these bars. Now, if I take a short or a long, my order will go 1 tick below a bar and my stop will go 1 tick above it. Look at the varying sides of these. It's very hard to manage risk. And that's the problem with, I mean, look at the size of some of them. They go from being tiny to being 5 times the size. It's very hard to manage risk. If I go on to the 2-minute chart, 2-minute charts will be very similar. Same again, you've got massive bars here and you've got tiny bars here. So if you flick onto the 2000 tick chart, which is 2000 trades, before we go new bar, look how much well balanced they are. Look how they're all more or less the same size. So Mac's description in trading this is it gives you more information. There's less flack, for want of a better word. All the bars are very similar size. They do, you know, they will vary slightly, but nowhere near, and they look much more stable. Same again, you flick over to the 5 and you look at it, it looks like a heart attack. It's all over the place, isn't it? And that's what I'm not a fan of these types of, you know, time frames, because they are very, it looks a lot more random, doesn't it? Look at this thing. So these tick charts do, they are much stable. Another one as well that I've looked at and traded a little bit for is range bars. So ATR's at 4 at the moment. So let's go with a range of 12. Every single bar will be 12 ticks. The good thing about this is you can work out your risk. So look how neat this works sometimes. So we got a channel moving up here, okay? Look how neat some of these are. We got a channel down with a break, new low, bullish bar, 1, 2, 3, triple test it, pushed up. Higher low there off the bottom. So we got a bounce, a bounce, a bounce. We got bull bar followed by a higher low and a failure. Look how nice it worked. Let's have a look at this. So we got 2 legs up, lower high, that came down. So sometimes, and same again up the top, we didn't get a lower high on the 2000 tick chart. We've got a lower high there and it worked. So sometimes this can be pretty decent as well. So sometimes this just clears a lot of the mess up. I tend to go with the range. The range 12 is just 12 ticks. And 12 ticks is more or less, well, the ATR, what's the ATR? The ATR is about 12 ticks. So I tend to adjust that to what the ATR is. But, you know, we've got kind of, let's have a look. So we got 2 legs up, bearish bar, lower high, failure. Second entry short, trapping some longs there. 2 legs up. I didn't take it on my other chart because it was an engulfing bar. That isn't. But look how neat this can look sometimes. So you can have a play around with these as well. Second entry long off the bottom, trapping some short. So sometimes this can look fantastic. So we've got a channel moving down, second entry short. You got longs trap there, longs trap there. Even that bar there triggered longs. So you got a bearish bar, second entry short, lower high, second entry long, failure. And that worked. So this could look fantastic at times. 1, 2, 3, triple test to go long. They've all kind of got their different characteristics. Some days one chart will look fantastic. Others, it won't look so good. So, you know, maybe trying the NQ or maybe trying this. Sometimes they'll give you a good day. You know what I mean? Other times it won't so good. You know, it won't so much. But it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's just one of those things. So let's have a look. So we've got a channel down here with a break. Now, what would entice me to go short here? There are sellers around the 75, which is there, a little bit above, a little bit below. So let's put that there. And funnily enough, 75 is right at the bottom of this range. So we get a channel with a break, maybe a new high, hit some sellers and a push down. We'll see. Trouble is, there are buyers just below price here. So I'd like to see them hit before we push up because I don't want to short into them. So we've got news on the CL chart coming up in about 3.5 minutes. So what I'm going to do is on my Replicanto, I'm just going to toggle off so I can't accidentally get in with 20 contracts. It'll only allow me 1.
Order
so
cancelled.
Just in case I forget and something odd happens. So channel with a break, new high. I wouldn't short here yet. Now, is there possibly something larger now? It's hard to say. You're long, are you, on the NQ? So we've got a channel down here with a break. So it may come down and test the bottom. If it comes down on here, it'll come down on the NQ. That's if it does come down, of course. So let's have a look. Buyers and sellers, where are they? So around about 82 to 80, 83, 84. Sorry. Let's round it up about 65. So there are buyers there. So I wouldn't short into buyers. I'd like to get up here and test this underside and then get some reaction there. Let's have a look here. Okay, so CL chart, there's news in just over a minute. So 72, 75 sellers, there's 75. There's 72. So there's no setup here, there's nothing you can do. A second entry short up here, testing the underside. There's a possibility. Let's get a push up here. Okay, news. There we go. So a little bit of a spike up. Nothing major.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
There could be a bit of a two-tiered channel there. How do I feel about that? It's hard to say. I've certainly got to be aware that we may have had a break in a new high, so so I was hoping we may come up and test this area first. This thing looks like it just wants to go down. What time is it? Yeah, it's really messy, this is today. Wilson, shush. Shh. Wilson, come here. Come on. Stop. Come here. Good lad. Come here. Come on. Come on. Good lad. Not easy today, is it? I'll be surprised if we end up keep coming down here. What have we got back here? So, yesterday's lows here. So, there was almost a channel up there. We've had multiple, I mean, you could say 2 legs down and a move up, but we've had multiple attempts to push higher. Now the thing's going south. So, maybe we've got 2 legs down. We've got overnight highs here, so a leg and a leg down to clear out those. So we'll see if we can get a couple of legs up here. We may still get something. So where have I got sellers? 75 and below, 75 here, which is up here, 2 legs up. Ideally lower as well, about just below 70. It's a bit short for me, that. I'd like to. Trouble is, if we've come from the top, we've only got down to the midline. So that doesn't look right to me. So I'd expect a break here. When you come from the top, you want to get down the bottom. We haven't, so I'd expect a break here. Let's see if this channel's valid, of course. 67.5. A fraction higher all around this area. So there are sellers right above the stop of that bear bar. It looks like a nice place to short there, the bear bar, but the context is all wrong. We haven't got down to the bottom. Whether we're losing a bit of momentum, we got a little double bottom here. So if I was a betting man, I'd say this is likely to push up higher. There are orders there. There are orders a little bit higher up. But you just never know. Sometimes the thing just keeps going. So if you took that, it went down 2 points. You'd have got 1.75 off that before it went out and stopped you out. It's only really a first entry. I understand why people might trade that as a pullback, but it just didn't go nowhere really. There is a second entry short there. The only thing is, there are sellers just below there. In a way, it doesn't look like a terrible trade. That my only concern is we got a little double bottom here. We haven't got nowhere near the bottom, and all of a sudden we got a small break. I'll be surprised if that break doesn't go a little bit higher. It's not turning bearish anyway by the looks of things. It may turn, but I'd like this to at least get up and hit some sellers. So we've got sellers at 75, sellers at 70. I prefer it to get up here and test this area. In an ideal world, I certainly wouldn't take it if it was bearish there. As opposed to as a break, it's negligible. But the fact that we've come straight down, we're not getting to the bottom. We're having a bounce here. For me, it's too risky. Get me short this this early. The setup doesn't look bad. The context is wrong for me. So I'm just sitting tight here. It will, no doubt, trap traders. But it still could come down. But for me, the context is wrong. There are sellers up here, sellers up here. We haven't got, well, I've just gone through all that, and we're going nowhere at the moment. So we've got to go a little bit higher, I think. Yeah, Thomas Wade. See, Thomas Wade doesn't really pay much attention to this, but he did say he waited. I've seen him take trades like that before, even though we've got this loss of momentum. But not everyone pays attention to certain things. Someone just said, wow, perfect second entry short. Setup looks good. Context is shit. Yeah, I mean, it may work. Sometimes the worst setups and contexts in the world will still work. The setup looks nice, but the context is telling me we've come, you know, this looks like an okay channel to me. We've come from the top to the bottom, from the top to the bottom. We've only come down to here. We haven't got low enough for me. And the fact that we didn't get to the bottom, we had a kind of a bounce at there, is telling me we're struggling to get down. But as for the setup looks okay. And if enough sellers sell there, it may hold. I mean, it got within a tick or two away. But, you know, sometimes it'll do this and you think, oh, I'm getting on a limit order now. Now it looks like it's coming down. But you've just got to be so careful. The setup looks good. Context is telling us we're losing momentum. And bookmap, I can see orders up here. So there you go. So, like someone said, perfect second entry. Setup looked nice and clean. Context was all wrong. Yeah, a lot of people got stuck on that one. Yeah, second entry short, trapped, RIP. Someone said they take the lower high. That's a better option. I'm still amazed how many people don't kind of notice the sort of lack of momentum, but it's surprising how many people don't kind of see this. I wouldn't have took the failure either. And that looks like it may get stopped out. I'm just not getting involved here. I want this thing to push further up. It would have worked. Trouble is, I expect it to go up. How far, I don't know. I know there are sellers there, and there just ain't enough room, really. If you took the failure, how high is it going to go? There was sellers at 1.25. You just don't know how far it's going to go. I'm not ready to go long. This, to me, is just a break. So I still expect it to go down, but you never quite know how far the break's going to go. So going long with a break's too risky for me. See how we got a leg up and a leg up? This is where I expect it to turn. Sellers at 70. We really tried to touch this area here, and we're trying again. If we can hit those sellers there and get rejection there, I'd be interested in shorting this, or at least waiting for a lower high. Okay, so there is a second entry long on the CL chart. My only slight concern is I still don't know whether I like this channel. I don't know if it's going to hold anyway. It is a second entry. I don't think it's going to close above that EMA anyway. Let's see if we get a rejection here. I'd like it to pick up some of these orders. I think it already has done, hasn't it? No, there is still a few there. I wouldn't take that bearish bar. I'd wait for the move down. That would tell me. I mean, that is where I'd expect it to go, or where I'd like it to go in an ideal world. 2 legs up, testing this underside. Toggle off. Uh, 259. Okay, I might take
Order submitted.
one account here. It's a nice setup. It is off that bottom. Let's see if it works. Second entry long. The setup looks nice. Bounce, 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 bounce. I don't know if I love this. We'll see.
Order filled.
Oh, don't know what happened there. Am I just in it for one account? Okay, so I'm just going to trade one account. Second entry long. See if we can get a quick $100 on the one account. It is a second entry long. It is off this key entry point. See if it works anyway. It's only $110 risk. I don't mind. I can live with that. The setup's nice. Context is not terrible. We're not quite getting up to the top, but I could bring this back a little bit. We're close enough to the top, I think. So I think there's a good chance this is going to come up. Big bear bar here, and it has triggered. So we'll see. Okay, so I can more or less ignore that now and let it get on with it. So let's see if we get a reaction here. I'd like it nice and bearish and then try and catch it on the way down if that's where it goes. we have kind of tested the overnight highs here as well. We've bounced off it, so it's not a bad trade. I wouldn't trade all my accounts there because I had this drawn slightly different. So we could have a channel with a break, 2 pushes to a new high. But as I've extended this, we've touched once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Okay, I don't know where the hell this thing's going now. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I'm not even a fan of this anymore, I don't think. Struggling to go anywhere this is at the moment. It's not a huge risk anyway. That's why I just didn't. That's why I only traded on just one account. It is 2 little legs back. Trouble is, we had this channel with a break and 2 pushes up, but market's got a habit of ditching you sometimes. It's not a huge risk anyway, so it's only on one account, so we'll let that go. So, second entry long failures triggered. Now, because it's off this bottom, I'm going to hold on here, see if it pushes up. I don't mind getting stopped out. It's only $110 on one account. It's neither into there, really. But as we've got a bear bar there and it's triggered, it may push up. We'll see. If it does push up, it's likely to stop that out. I'll hold on, otherwise I'll get out of it.
Target filled.
It'll break below it anyway. I don't doubt. I don't think I can order again on that one. I can.
Order submitted.
Yeah.
Order cancelled.
Okay, so it's only $100 on that one. I don't mind that. It may have held, but to me, it's likely going to get taken out. So that's the trouble. If you're unsure what exactly that account's doing, that channel's doing. So it's an hard day today. This is all over the place. This is. It's hard to know what's going on. In fact, what time is it? I might knock on the head there, actually. Yeah, I'm coming up 3 hours. I got to sort my phone out anyway. So nothing really today. Just took a quick $110 loss on one account. I went for that one, but the context is a bit, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So I'm going to leave you guys to it. So I appreciate your company. Good luck if you're carrying on trading. Failing that, I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great evening. Stay safe. Are you? Yeah. There was a little second entry long there. The trouble is, I've got it as more like a 2-tiered channel. It's not ideal, which is why I only did it on one account. It was $110 risk, so it's neither in there really. I thought it may work, but it didn't in the end. But it was 2 little legs down. It does seem to be working off this bottom, but I don't know. It is what it is anyway. So I'm going to leave you guys to have a great evening. Stay safe. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll do it all again. Bye for now.